Hey friends, I've been working on new ways for us to reach Congress and make a bigger impact than ever before. Just because this bill is passed, that doesn't mean it's over, not by a long shot. Right now, behind the scenes, agencies are about to start writing the rules that decide how this law actually works in the real world. Congress still has to decide how much funding it gets and how strictly the rules will be enforced. And that's where we come in, because if we speak up now, we still have the power to shape how this law plays out. Our representatives and U.S. senators know this system far better than we do. And if we give them the chance to know us, to know our stories, our fears, our reality, and the truth of what's really happening, they can defend us in ways we can't even imagine. Stick with me, because in a minute, I'm going to share with you exactly how these hidden decisions get made and how we can fight back to protect our communities. Please feel free to utilize YouTube's chapter feature. If the current topic isn't of interest to you, there may be a chapter that applies to you or someone you know. Any U.S. citizen or legal U.S. resident can contact their representatives or U.S. senators. If you're undocumented, please don't put yourself at risk, but ask someone you trust who can reach out for you without disclosing your information. If you're outside of the United States and know anyone inside the United States who can reach out, please encourage them to get involved. This affects them too. And if you're anywhere in the world, anywhere at all, you can also help by raising awareness globally, sharing credible information, or connecting with human rights organizations. Now is the time to act. Every single person I walk past on the street, I look at their face and I wonder, how is this going to affect them or their family or somebody they know? And the scariest part is, most people still don't even know what's going on. I just spoke to somebody recently who had never even heard of the bill, and it's already passed. How many people haven't heard yet? The one big beautiful bill, it's all anybody's talking about, but it's all anybody's talking about in certain circles, because people on our level are not talking to each other. This is absolutely crazy pants. So we need to keep bringing the fight to them, and we desperately need your help to do that. One of the biggest problems we're running into right now is how limited we are as constituents in reporting what's really happening. We're not able to send photos and we're not able to send videos. That means when you go to the grocery store one week and have a cart full of groceries, and the next week you spend the same amount of money, but you only have a half a cart, you can't show anyone. You can't prove it to Congress. And that's a real issue, friends. I mean, come on. You put a bill into effect that's going to devastate millions, because that's how big this thing is. And we have no adequate way to tell you about what's happening as it's happening. No way to show you the food rotting on the fields, the construction sites that are empty because nobody's there, the wounds that won't heal because people don't have medical coverage to go to the wound care clinic, the emergency rooms that'll be overflowing because people have nowhere else to go, the people going homeless because of the red tape and not qualifying for assistance under the new stricter rules. The list is endless, and if we have to live it, then they need to see it and hear it too. We have phones in our hands every single day that can take pictures, record video, record audio, and we need an easy access route to give that proof to our Congress and show them what's going on. They want to spend billions and billions of dollars, put our country in $7 trillion worth of debt, and then they can create a system for this. And it doesn't even have to be inside the government's own system. They can build it separately so there's no excuse about security. They already want to utilize AI? Fine. Let's tell them exactly where they could stick it to make AI work for their constituents, to work for America, not against it. Our concerns deserve to be heard. They are our representatives. Here's why this matters. Our representatives and U.S. senators don't just vote on bills. They also oversee how laws are enforced, how rules are written, and how government agencies spend money. If they hear directly from us with real evidence, they can push for changes, demand for oversight, and fight for new legislation to protect people. Better reporting is how we can make our voices heard and ensure our leaders have the evidence they need to fight for us. Just because a bill passes doesn't mean it's over. Agencies still have to write regulations that decide how the law is enforced. Congress still decides how much funding it gets, and policies have to be created to determine how strict or fair the rules will be. Regulations are the official rules that government agencies write to explain exactly how a law will work when it goes into effect. Policies are decisions about how strictly those rules are enforced, how money is spent, and who gets priority. Take Medicaid, for example. Suppose a new law says people can qualify for Medicaid if they earn under a certain amount of money. A regulation would spell out exactly what counts as income. Does it include tips, child support, or only wages? A policy might decide how aggressively the state checks your bank records, or whether they accept a signed letter from your employer as proof. Those details decide whether someone gets medical care or gets denied and left suffering. The more specific you are, the easier it is for your elected officials to fight for the changes you really need. Tell them how it affects you personally or someone you know. Don't just talk about politics. Humanize it. They need to see us as people, not numbers. And here's something else we need to ask our representatives and U.S. senators to do. When we write to them about a problem, we shouldn't have to scrape the bowels of the earth to figure out who else we're supposed to contact. Congress should be giving us clear next steps. They should be asking, would you like additional resources or help escalating your situation? There should be a checkbox right on their website so that no matter what subject we're writing about, we can ask for help finding more resources. And there should be a drop-down option in their subject menu so that we can reach out even if all we need help with is figuring out who else to talk to. And really, they're talking about adding $7 trillion in new debt to this country. Fine, let's tell them where they can stick it. Into tools that work for America instead of against it. They want to spend billions on technology and new systems. Let's help them spend it right. Imagine how many people get the help they need if every letter to Congress also included the optional checkbox to receive additional resources like Medicare hotlines, state Medicaid offices, legal aid contacts, trusted advocacy groups, and even organizations that help for better laws for immigrants. Because our friends, our neighbors, the people who work alongside us or walk alongside us every day, many of them can't speak up for themselves. They need us to stand up and speak for them. And if you're speaking up for immigrants because they can't advocate for themselves, please remember, never include personal details, addresses, references, or other identifying information about the people you're helping. Keep your message about the general issue affecting them, not the specific individual, so you don't accidentally put anyone in danger. It's not enough for Congress to just sit there and nod while we talk. They need to listen, understand, and help fix the mess they made. They should have to record what we're telling them so they can't pretend they never heard it. Because the minute they have to respond, they're dragged into the fight. And once they're involved, they'll have no choice but to start reporting what they find. And that's how we shine a light on all of the things they'd rather keep in the dark. We're not here to whisper politely. We're here to push this system to work for the people instead of against us. That's what real representation looks like. And if you don't even know what to ask for yet, that's okay. Just start writing and say, I'm not sure where to begin. I want resources to help me understand how this new law might affect me or my community. Even that one line gets them to listen, record it, and help connect you to the next step. Because silence helps no one, and asking for help is how we shine a light into the dark corners they'd rather keep hidden. And here's something important to understand that most people are taking out of context. We all fought so hard in that vote when the bill went to the House of Representatives. The delays that were pulled were monumental. 5 representatives stood their ground and voted no, but the vote was held open for a record-breaking 7 hours. A tactic designed to give leadership time to strong-arm those votes and flip them. In the end, those 5 couldn't hold out any longer, and they were forced to switch their votes to yes. Not because they wanted to, but because they were backed into a corner. Let us not forget the U.S. citizens who have been deported, the U.S. senator who was dragged to the floor and handcuffed, and the thousands of families torn apart, still searching for each other because paperwork vanishes in the chaos, and people disappear, and journalists and whistleblowers facing prison because they dared to reveal the truth. It's never easy to stand for what's right when you're one of the ones expected not to. Just think about it. They held out almost as long as the representatives who were expected to vote no, and those reps who voted no were able to delay things with their speech, which clocked in at a staggering 8 hours long. It was like watching sloths play basketball, but dang was it exciting. And those representatives fighting the vote held the line for even longer. Without ever being granted the floor to speak, they just charged through like knights in shining armor. And some of the most empowering and inspiring things were said during that speech and the entire vote. It was incredible. So no, they're not across the aisle. They're not on the other side. They didn't defect. They did their civic duty by trying to stand for justice. And at the end of the day, we all breathe the same air, and we're all supposed to be fighting for this country together. We're supposed to be on the same side. There was never meant to be a division. That is not the vision that our forefathers had for this country. Let's show them how America has always been great, and we're not keeping silent any longer. We will be heard. We want our country back. So please, don't stay silent. Call and write your representative and your U.S. senators. Details are in the description. Tell them we need the ability to report what's happening in our lives with photos, videos, and audio so they could see the truth for themselves. This isn't about winning or losing. This fight has never been about winning. It's always been about doing the right thing together. It's about making sure the people we elect actually hear us and help fix the mess we're in. It's about showing them that we are real people with real stories and real sacrifices are happening every day. Love is a verb. It's an action word. It's not just something you feel, it's something you do. So let's get up and love each other. Call your representatives, call your U.S. senators, write to them on their websites, whatever you have to do to reach them. Show them how much we love each other, how much we love ourselves, and how much we love our communities, because we're asking them to care, to do the jobs that we elected them to do, and to stand up for us and for this country. Love thy neighbor as thyself. That means standing up for yourself and those who can't stand up for themselves, but always doing it safely. If you're speaking up for immigrants or anyone vulnerable, never share personal names, addresses, or details that could expose them. Speak up for the issue, but protect the people. Even if it's an issue that's already well covered, speak up. Every voice counts. Every moment matters. Let's ask Congress to help us pave the road to better communication and resources so we can finally be heard, because the right thing to do will always be the right thing to do, no matter what. Let's make sure that when they come into their offices every day, they're hearing from us. If you haven't spoken up yet, do it now. Even if you've already spoken up, speak up again. Speak up as many times as you feel comfortable doing. Watch the other videos on this channel to help support us and spread awareness. Let's defend this country, this world, and all of its people together. We can do this.